Amazing. We're going to move on to, as the day goes on and we've been in Zoom calls for, I don't know, 16 hours or so, you might start to feel burnt out. So with that in mind, we're gonna talk about reversing it because we still got a ways to go and a lot of collaborations and and sessions to jump into. So we're gonna hear from Anna Laucis about reversing burnout, reflections on the past 3 years of a pilot wellness program. Take it away.
All right, thank you so much. Can everyone hear me okay? All right, so I'm Anna Laucis. I'm a chief resident physician at the University of Michigan. And just wanted to thank all of my co-authors for their contributions to this project and to this presentation. So just as a bit of background, as we all know, burnout is really common among physicians and trainees. This is particularly the case for oncology. There was a 2019 Medscape survey, specifically in the field of oncology, and found that 39% of physicians in oncology reported being burnt out. As we heard from an earlier presentation, burnout has the definition of the triad of emotional exhaustion, ineffectiveness, and depersonalization. And trainees might be particularly vulnerable to experiencing burnout. There's a steep learning curve, especially in radiation oncology. I'm sure all of us who have been through PGY 2-year know that it's very different from medical school or even intern year. And so there's a very steep learning curve. Inconsistent teams are always rotating to really maximize our disease site exposure, but that can also lead to sort of having fragmentation and inconsistency. Also, work hours, of course, are long. In oncology specifically, and radiation oncology, there's some other considerations regarding burnout. We're frequently delivering bad news, even if we're not diagnosing patients' cancer. We might have to tell them about a recurrence or that, unfortunately, the radiation may not effectively cure their disease. Also, there's a pretty big emotional toll to any work in oncology specifically. We often absorb the collective traumas and sort of hopes, dreams, fears, everything of our patients, and kind of move from room to room, really expected to just put on a new face and be able to take all of that. But there's really a lack of time and space for grieving patient losses or even thinking about some of the complex and difficult conversations that we've had. So the purpose of sort of our project in terms of establishing a radiation oncology wellness initiative was to evaluate the need for this and establish it. And it's still in progress, but I'll sort of give you a perspective on what we've been able to accomplish so far. So our methods, it's been an evolving project really over the past 3 years. I started this when I was a PGY2 and actually presented at the first ROECSG back in 2018. About this, and then it's just been evolving over time. I performed pre-survey or pre-initiative surveys and have been assessing this on an ongoing basis. I've been incorporating perspectives from sort of continuous feedback to improve the initiative over time. And I broadened it from just something solely focused on residents and trainees to trying to incorporate it more at the department level. And I've been working together collaboratively with faculty members to do this. So just as an example of some of the interventions we've been able to accomplish in these 3 years, so as I talked about last year in the ROECSG conference, there have been a lot of healthy snacks in the resident room. That's very popular. Also, we continue to do monthly resident wellness outings, and this is now a staple part of our Friday resident lecture series. So once a month, well, pre-COVID, we would all, go out to a local establishment and, chat. Now it's a virtual format, but it's still great to get to talk with everyone and really establish a culture of we're not just work colleagues, but we're also friends and we're involving sort of significant others, family, pets, all of that in our culture. Also, I've been working very closely with our graphic design specialist on website promotion of these wellness initiatives. So I'll give an example of that. I also had the chance to, prior to COVID, go to New York City and actually lead a wellness workshop with oncology professionals with one of my attendings at the Society of Integrative Oncology. So that was great. And then probably the thing I'm most proud of is a department-wide initiative that I've started that was funded by my department called Radiation Oncology Reflection Rounds. And this involves residents as well as faculty and actually really everyone in the department. So the goal is for it to be multidisciplinary, feature perspectives of, dosimetrists, physicists, research coordinators, sort of everyone in the department, and it's adapted from the National Sports Rounds platform. And as an example of this, our session that we had at the end of January pre-COVID, we brought everyone together, our chair, program director, everyone was in the room and led like a meditation session for the first 2 minutes. And then we all reflected on ringing the bell and kind of what that means to our department and kind of thought about some ideas. And it was actually so popular that by popular demand, I did a focus group afterwards. And now that's continuing with the patient family-centered care group to sort of figure out solutions and some of the ethics and considerations, particularly in light of there was a Red Journal podcast and article about this. So just very interesting. So just a few pictures of some of the things I talked about. So website innovations, that's the website down there. If you just Google, University of Michigan resident wellness, it comes up. I work together with our graphic design specialist to pick out photos to help, advertise our program and how we're focusing on wellness to hopefully, recruit the best medical students. And of course, as we know, as we heard earlier today, with the match results being difficult, I think it's really important to show medical students that we do care about wellness and well-being. And then just a sort of fun photo of during COVID, we've still been able to do virtual happy hours as well. So this has been great to sort of involve, spouses, pets. I know my cat always makes an appearance in these, so it's been fun to do that, even during COVID, to still promote sort of this sense of culture and camaraderie. So really the significance, so I'm still working on quantifying the sort of exact impact of this, but certainly anecdotally it's had a positive impact on resident culture. There have been these monthly wellness events that really have fostered more caring relationships. Now we're more likely to cover for each other, help each other out if something else arises, and that's really important and something that will continue as we look for jobs. Integration into the supportive departmental culture, and potentially could serve as a model for other institutions for doing similar wellness initiatives. So with that, these are my references here and would be happy to take any questions. Thank you.